As a second-hand car dealer, people seem to think that you are surrounded by exquisite metal at all times, including things like Fiestas that need a clean. However, it's not the case. I have made many, many mistakes in my career. The first one being setting up a second-hand car dealership. However, some things have gone well. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk you through what I like to call my too hard for now pile, which is basically all the cars that have had, be it a big problem, a little problem, or an indifferent problem, and what I've decided to do is stick them in a pile and not think about it. But what I need to be doing really is addressing the situation, because I've done the maths on it, and I've got 60,000 quid tied up in cars that are currently devaluing and going mouldy. So let's have a look at my mistakes that I've made over the last couple of years. Drop brolly. Nailed it. Octane Finance. We don't use them anymore, but we do have their umbrellas. Right, so we go straight up to the too hard for now pile, which is just up the road from here. It's a secure compound. I'm going to show you the little headaches that I've got. Now, unfortunately, you do need to store your cars around here, because this is a car that someone didn't store. DVLA have clamped it. And it appears the clamp's fallen off. Don't know what's happened there. I'm being honest, I'm getting a little bit naffed off with this whole situation. Not just the fact that the cars are sat there losing money, but also the fact that I am indeed paying for that privilege now because I'm renting more space. Because I'm an idiot. Before you dive in the comments, I'm doing this video because I'm aware of how stupid I am. Poor business practice. Right, what have we got up here then? So this is my too hard for now pile. We're in a lorry park. Now this Seat has actually just come in. So I want you to ignore this for a second. However, it does require, it's a good pointing tool this, quite a bit of body work. So the guy basically had his front bumper painted, and unfortunately the paint then fell off. And he sold it to me. There's a video about this car actually. I don't know if it's dropped yet or not dropped yet, but it's going to be coming to you soon. It's actually quite a nice car. It's got really nice service history. There's loads on it that is going to make it a wonderful machine for somebody. But it's just shoved up here for now because I didn't want it in the showroom. That is not a too hard for now car. That is a waiting for the body shop car. This, I did a video on. This is a VW Polo. It's a little diesel. It's a nice motor for someone actually, to be fair. However, it has quite a bit of body work that needs sorting out. But you know what it is? This will make a nice car for someone. It stands me at about, I want to say sort of 1,500 quid-ish. Now, my mate, his missus, is wanting to get out of her car, and she's wanting something just sort of like cheap to batter around in. And I believe that this might be just the ticket. I'm annoyed actually because I just spotted something. That is new damage on the bottom of the bumper that wasn't here when I first parked it here. So not only are they losing money, they're getting more damaged as they sit here. Oh, Rob. We picked the right day for it, haven't we? British summer. Bit of an issue on this one, down this side. I bought this car from auction, and the grading wasn't actually, oh, the grading's still here. God, it's been there that long, you can't even see it anymore. Now the problem is, the side of it needs paint. The roof of it, you can't really tell, but it's got a load of dents on the roof as well. Down one side is another load of dents. It's got, to be fair, 3 services in here, up to 27k, the car's done 50k. I suspect there'll be more service. Everything's green on here. It's an all right car. But I took it to the body shop and he said that's going to cost you an absolute fortune to put right. And so I thought, right, well, what I'll do is I'll put it in the too hard for now pile. Because that solves the problem, doesn't it? I really need to attack this car. The other issue as well, Alex, if you want to come round here, and I don't know if this has happened while it's been here or before I bought it or whatever, but there's a slight hairline crack in the windscreen. I'm not sure if you can see it there. Just a minor one. You can see the shrubbery growing up in the background. It's pretty bad. Now there is another car that isn't here, and it is a Mercedes-Benz E63 that I bought from a guy. I gave right money for it, brought it into the showroom. Car drives fine, really nice service history, everything's spot on about it. And then pan roof jammed open and wouldn't close again. So I took it to a specialist. He managed to close it again, and open it and close it. Said it was all right, but well, I'll probably have it looked into, Rob. And it sat there for 2 years. So not only have I got this too hard for now pile, I've got a too hard for now pile up the road. I need to address this. That stands me, I think retailing that's about 20 grand. So you've got 40 odd grand just sat here. It's bad, isn't it? Right, there's a story behind this car. I bought this car off a guy on a trade site called Alex. Now, it turns out what Alex does is he buys his cars from BCA auction and then sells them to trade. So I essentially bought this from BCA auction and paid not only the BCA fees, but also Alex's drink as well. Now, when it turned up, there were a few issues with it. First of all, I set off in it and he was driving in sort of like limp mode. He just wasn't getting the power at all. So what I ended up doing was I got it diagnosed, and it turns out that these swirl flaps were all sort of coked up, which is a fairly common problem with these. Now, unfortunately, what we did is we bought a new inlet manifold for it, then did something with the swirl flaps, had to do blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Alex paid for it, to be fair to him. And then what it did do is it unveiled the big problem with the car, which it had like a massive judder on it. So when you set off, the whole thing shook. When you kind of put a load of power into it and torque, like, it just felt really vibraty. So we ended up changing prop shaft, the diff, the drive shafts. We had all the wheels balanced. We had a new tyre put on the front because it wasn't matching them all, and BMWs can be a bit of a pain with these. None of which seemed to solve the problem, so I put it in the too hard for now pile. Then I started getting annoyed with the situation, so I took it to a BMW specialist who diagnosed it whilst I was driving home, saying it needs a new engine mount. It was 100 quid. So we spent an absolute fortune trying to get the car right. Now, you'd think that'd be problem over, and Rob will just sell the car. No. What I decided to do at that stage was stick it here. It's just got mouldy. And the reason for that is because when I was moving units, I've had this car 3 years. When I was moving units, did the roof down, put an office chair in the back of it, and I remember making a joke to the lads at the last place, oh, wouldn't it be annoying if the roof don't work after this? And the roof won't go down again. Dismantled the chair in the back of the car, and then we managed to get the roof back up, and it's been working fine ever since. But it's just been niggling away in my head that if I sell this car and the roof stops working, it's going to be back on my problem list. Anyway, I'm going to have to put this brolly up. Manly, I know. Now they've trimmed the weeds around here recently, which is, to be fair, what you'd expect for the £200 a month I'm paying to sit these cars here, which is why it's a totally stupid business plan. Not only am I letting the cars lose value over time, I'm paying these guys 200 quid a month for me to sit them here and lose value over time. However, the rationale for doing this, or the man maths for doing this, is because if I don't sell them, I haven't technically lost any money. Alex is pulling a face there. He's nodding. I'm right, aren't I? Even though this car stands me at £3,800 and the retail is £6,000, it needs a little bit of work. If I don't sell it at a loss, I've not lost any money. And it is a stupid way of thinking. That car owes me 3,800 quid. That car owes me 1,500 quid. This car owes me about 17 grand now, and retail is about 13 or 14. But if I don't sell them for a loss, I've not lost the money ever. Am I right? He's nodding. MOT due September the 4th, 2024. It was due an MOT a year ago. But because I've sat them for so long, it's probably going to need new discs and pads, and it's probably going to need a new battery. And I've just noticed this on the Beamer as well. Have a look. Oh, Rob. Look at the steering wheel in there, Alex. Oh, this is the problem with cars. You just leave them too long, and they just get worse and worse and worse. Unfortunately, there's more. I'll show you these other two as well. The problem is I've kind of boxed myself into a position here, haven't I, where I'm going to lose money if I retail them, and lose a lot of money if I put them into auction. But if they stay there, I don't lose money. But at the same time, if there's 50 or 60 grand there, then that's a lot of money to reinvest into the business to make more money back. It's kind of illogical what I'm doing. And these are the other two problem cars. Well, actually, there's another one as well. So we've got this, which you haven't seen the video for. I thought we were going to do something with, and yet again, I've just shoved it in a pile to go rotten. But it is already rotten, this Chrysler. It owes me 1,000 quid. I need to get that sorted out, but it's had no MOT and no service for like at least 2 years. So that's a problem. If you've not seen the video that did a very long time ago about this Maserati, this is a story. Basically, I sold this car to a bloke. The engine light came on. So I booked into a specialist and I said, take it to the specialist, get it sorted. He didn't go. He then drove it to Scotland. It then itself in Scotland. So he got it recovered, went into the specialist like I'd asked him to do in the first place. The specialist has replaced the radiators, some sort of aircon line, a couple of other bits on it, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it hadn't cooked the engine, but it had overheated. So it got coolant coming out and a warning coming out, and thrown it into limp mode. And that's because the radiators, they had problems with the radiators on these, with the fans or something like that. So He sorted all that, made everything all right again. Now, we knew that the problem was an O2 sensor. That was the issue in the first place. The specialist didn't do that while it was in there, so really pleased about that. He took the car back, engine light fired straight back on again. So at that point, I'm on the back foot, and I ended up basically taking the car back in and sold him a different one. He was all right about it in the end. His missus was a bit of hard work, but he was all right. I brought it back down here. The O2 sensors are £300 a sensor, so parked it here. Callum looking very busy over there.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you've got an umbrella up in the showroom, Alex? He's just tipped it. Film what you've just done. Not only do I keep problem cars, I employ problem people. So this is the other one that's been tucked at the back of the showroom, and honestly, am I an idiot, Callum? Yeah. So this car is a lovely thing. It's a Focus ST. Now I bought this car in from auction. I think it was in the same batch as we bought the other one from, and it's fine. You drove it home, didn't you? It was all right.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's just got when it's cold, it's got a slight misfire. Nothing major, but a slight misfire. And unfortunately, that's enough for me to shove it in a corner. This car, it turns out, I did a video on, I want to say it was TikTok or whatever. The previous owner got in touch and said, oh, that car's had a forged engine build or whatever. So I need to do some more digging on this. But the problem with this job is, you go, I could focus on that, or I could focus on that S4 that's just come in, there's a 2 or 3 grand margin on or whatever, and sell that. And then you just constantly focus on all the cars you're making money on, and you forget about the ones that you're not. There's another one, isn't there, Callum? That's in the too hard for now pile.
There is indeed another one.
What's wrong with that one, Callum? I'll show you what's wrong with that before he provides you with bull. This is a Mercedes E400. It's a cracking car. It's a Premium Plus, so it's got mega spec. It's a proper thing. And what Callum has done with this car, when he was cleaning it, is he's smashed the dashboard. How much do you think a new dashboard is on a Mercedes Premium Plus E400? Answers in the comments below, and guess where it's going to go. How? How? How?
I changed the stupid bit of thing behind it, didn't I?
Sackable offence. So I have sacked him. He's going to be going in September.
Bye.
Yes. So anyway, Cal, these things happen, don't they, mate? We were okay about it. It just happened at a really bad time.
It did actually.
Yeah, and you came into the office and told me about it when I was...
Yeah, but I did it straight away.
You did tell me straight away. You could have waited until I wasn't dealing with the stuff I was dealing with, but
No.
you told me straight away. It's the right thing to do.
It is.
Anyway, so let's go into the office and have a little tot up as to how much I've got in dead cars. And hopefully you can provide me with some sort of an idea as to what you would do in this position, because the problem is, as a car dealer, is the buck stops with you. So I can't just sell them to We Buy Any Car. If I put them to an auction, people are going to go, a dealer's putting that into an auction. There's definitely a problem with it. And I certainly can't sell them to the members of the public like this. I could put them on eBay and just see what they make and buy them in my own personal name and sell them privately. But it's a bit of a headache, isn't it? And my accountant would go mental. So let's do a tot up in the office over a coffee, because I'm cold and mildly moist. All right, so let's do the math, shall we, of the dead cars in here. So I've got that Maserati that stands me at £24,000. And I'm not going to look, but I dread to think what the retail on that car is now. I don't even know the mileage on it, so I'm not going to have a look at that. So we've got the Maserati at £24,000. We've got the Chrysler at £1,000. We've got that Peugeot in there as well. How much does that Peugeot owe me exactly? Peugeot. Right, £4,425 in that Peugeot. Oh. What else have we got up there? We've got a 640D. That is £16,800 it owes me. I've got the E63, which you haven't seen on this video, but we will be doing a video about that car soon. Stands me at £14,000. The VW Polo, that's about 1,500 quid. Got the E-Class downstairs. What does that stand me at downstairs? £18,000. And then we've got that Ford Focus ST. No. £8,500. Oh. Now you're probably wondering why I'm doing this video, because it makes me look a little bit stupid. Well, I appreciate that you probably think I'm a little bit stupid, but there's the sort of man maths behind this that it just doesn't make any business sense at all, which is putting the problem to one side and ignoring it means that you've not lost any money, you don't have to deal with the problem, and you can just focus on what's in front of you. And the business has been doing okay without having to deal with these. But I bet when I add this up, I'm going to be thinking about this in a very different way. Now, I'm doing this video for one or two reasons. First of all, I think you're going to find it entertaining, and that's what the channel's all about. Secondly, because I want to take ownership of this situation. If I do something on it, then at least people are going to be asking questions and going, oh, Rob, what about those cars, etc., etc. So let's just add it all up, shall we? 24 plus 1 plus 4425 plus 16,800 plus 14,000 plus 1,500 plus 18,000 plus 8,500. It's nearly 90 grand. Oh, I need to sort this out. So the problem I've got here is it's all well and good looking at this situation going, well, at least, you know, I've got my money to, there's just no good way of looking at this, Rob. I've tried to man-mass my way out of this plenty of times. 90,000 quid is a huge amount of money, and I genuinely had no idea it was all tied up in those cars, because what I do when I do my stock checks, I just include them in the stock checks, and you don't really focus on it too much. But as you well know, we have some stocking facilities here as well, so we do borrow money. So when we run out of money on cars, we end up borrowing it to buy more cars, and that costs, call it 1% a month, just to use an easy round number. So 1% a month at £90,000 is £900 a month, and over the year is £11,000 a year. So there's £11,000 a year there in costs, plus 200 quid a month to store them there, so it's 2.5 grand, so it's 13.5 grand a year, plus the depreciation on the cars that are sat there. I bet that's costing me 15 grand a year. And this is the problem with this game, is because the running costs of this place are so high, you go, well, 15 grand a year is not a lot of money. I'm going to deal with these, and I'm going to make individual videos about dealing with every single car so you can see what's happened with them. However, if you were in my shoes, what would you be doing? Can you understand why I'm doing it? Is it the right thing to be doing? Is it the wrong thing to be doing? It's obviously the wrong thing to be doing, and I'm going to address it. And hopefully get to the bottom of this mess over the next couple of months, because they need to be gone. And I need to be buying some fresh stock in. Because the other thing there is 90 grand. You could run an entire car dealership off 90 grand. Right, get myself wound up. Hopefully you found that interesting. I've certainly found it a bit of an eye-opener. I've been needing to do that for a long time, and I'm gonna get these cars bottomed out and get back on top. They say where there's muck, there's money. But I've got a sneaky feeling there ain't no money there. But at least I can get my cash back out. Even if I got 60 anyway. I'm going to have a nice stiff drink and work out a battle plan. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.